is out.
The river's a jack of hearts, and Barry Greenstein has won the match, eliminating Amir Vahidi to advance to the field of 8.
Bad news is Amir's out of the tournament. Good news is he can go smoke a cigar somewhere.
Back to Huck Seed and Scott Fishman, where the blinds are up to 2,000 and 4,000 now. And Scott Fishman has a slight lead. Huck Seed with 7 deuce offsuit.
Which is actually the worst starting hand in Hold'em, but if you're Huck Seed, you call because you're playing your opponent. You're not playing your cards.
Fishman checks on King-Jack suited. Flop comes 10-King-10.
Great flop for Scott Fishman. He checks, hoping to induce a bluff from Huck Seed, but Huck doesn't oblige.
Turns a queen of diamonds.
That's a good card for Scott Fishman. Gives him an open-end straight along with his pair of kings. He checks again, hoping to induce a bet from Huck Seed, and this time it works.
Seed bets 8,000. And Fishman calls.
Scott just calls. I think Scott's aware he has way the best hand. Checks again, tries to get Huck to bet again. Huck doesn't oblige this time. These players act very fast.
So Fishman takes down the pot, and our Catherine Tappins with a man who just took down a larger pot to advance to the quarterfinals.
Barry, congratulations. You seem to be steamrolling your opponents here.
Well, Catherine, I hope I get to see you a few more times. I've just had the best hands. We had 2 matchups. I had ace-queen against ace-jack. Actually got lucky and tied me on that one. And with the amount of chips we had left, pairs are good at this point. He had a pair of 7s. I had a pair of queens. If the hands were reversed, the money would have gone in also. Of course, I ended up looking like the smart one because my pair was bigger. But I've just had the best of the cards so far.
Barry, thank you very much.
Back to our outer tables now. An intriguing matchup between David Chesnoff and James McManus. Chesnoff, of course, a renowned criminal defense lawyer here in Las Vegas, and McManus, the author of the acclaimed poker book Positively Fifth Street. Each of these two competitors has a mutual understanding and respect for what the other does away from the felt.
His book that he wrote was a lot about Las Vegas, and I was actually personally involved at one point in the case as a lawyer that he wrote the book about.
He's a law partner with the mayor of Las Vegas, and he's been in a number of really important cases, and he's clearly very good at his job.
I was doing a death penalty case, and there were 9 guys facing the death penalty. That pressure makes this look like nothing. Wound up, everybody got acquitted, and I felt good about the job I had done.
And it looks like all those 9 guys that he got acquitted are in our crowd today.
McManus with jacks.
Still jacks, Jim. You can look at him as long as you want.
He's clearly thinking about a raise here.
He's thinking about how much to raise.
To 7,000. Ace-queen offsuit for Chesnoff.
We might have some big action right away here.
All raise.
David Chesnoff's going to raise. And the attorney has a case. He's got ace-queen. Jim McManus is a pair of jacks, but it's early in this match. And he's just going to call.
Call.
They both have 15,000 each in the pot right now.
Flop comes 5-5-9.
There's no help to David Chesnoff. Jim McManus has way the best hand now with his pair of jacks.
I'll check.
Chesnoff checks.
I'm all in.
Hey, and McManus moves all in.
He's not waiting any longer. Jim McManus is saying to David Chesnoff, if you have queens, kings, or aces, you got me. And I'm putting it all in right now.
Chesnoff's friend and client, former Golden Nugget owner Tim Poster.
Option.
Well, counselor, does the writer look guilty? Could he be trying to run a bluff by you? David Chesnoff has the ace of hearts, so he's got to know that Jim McManus is not raising on the nut flush draw. His ace-queen really isn't much of a hand here.
Chesnoff folds.
And Jim McManus shows the attorney that he didn't have much of a case. It's a sporting gesture. I don't know why he's doing it, but it's a sporting gesture.
Welcome back to the home of champions, Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, host of the National Heads Up Poker Championship. For exclusive video, interviews, and merchandise, log on to NBCHeadsUp.com, the only place on the internet where you can play Heads Up Poker for free. Heads Up. And on cue, there's Josh Lochner, the NBCHeadsUp.com qualifier, watching the competition. Lochner lost to James McManus in the first round. McManus, on the right of your screen, now squaring off against David Chesnoff for a berth in the quarterfinals. Ace-8 on the Outback Pocket Cam.
And he's not wasting any time. Jim McManus is going all in, trying to end the match right here. David Chesnoff has a king-10. He's going to call. He's going to try and double up or go home.
McManus has a 2-1 chip lead in this match.
And he's a 57% favorite to win the hand and win the match. Sometimes ace-high wins hands like this, and sometimes they both make hands. Let's see what happens.
Flop is Jack-Jack Trey.
Nobody's made anything on the flop. And Jim McManus is getting ready to put a big kiss on the dealer if a king or a 10 don't come out on the turn of the river.
The turn is a 10 of clubs.
Uh-oh, no kiss for the dealer. David Chesnoff is going to double up unless Jim McManus can catch an ace on the river.
And the river brings an 8 of diamonds. Indeed, Chesnoff doubles up to hang around.
Oh. And the lawyer is back in court.
Now it's McManus who is at the disadvantage. 2-1 in favor of Chesnoff.
David Chesnoff took a chance. He had king-10 offsuit. He went all in. He said, let me try and double up here. Sometimes you can't wait for the nuts.
We look back in now on Josh Arieh and Chris Ferguson, where the blinds are up to 1 in 2,000 in this match. Josh Arieh's really up against the 11th hour here. He is down to Chris Ferguson. Ferguson has a 10-1 chip advantage.
And Chris Ferguson is going to try and deliver that knockout punch very shortly. He might try it on this hand. Jack-10 offsuit. Yep, there he goes.
He's going to try to put Josh all in here on king-9.
Josh has got a call with king-9.
Josh Arieh all in on the button.
Again, the blinds are big here, 1 in 2,000.
That's why I'm surprised he's taking this long. The blinds are so high, he doesn't have a lot of money left. You got to gamble, Josh. And there he goes.
Arieh calls all in.
He didn't know that he had the best hand, but he does. He's 57% to double up.
Let's take a look at what these two players hold. Turn them up, gentlemen.
He's going to see it.
Jack-10. Josh shows king.
Got to be happy about that. Chris Ferguson says, give me a 10 or a jack. Let's end this thing right here. And Josh says, my nose itches, but no 10s or jacks.
Flop is 4-8 ace.
Josh is still in the lead. He's got the king of hearts. If 2 more hearts would come up there.
Give him that 9.
Chris needs a jack or a 10.
Man, you got a 10-1 chip lead and you're begging?
I'm not begging to win. I'm just begging to make it interesting. There's a big difference.
If I win this pot, it's going to be interesting.
Show me the turn.
Turn is a queen.